Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jaya Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiri Nashtavrayeshu Padreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 8, Lord Nrsimhadev slays the king of the demons. Text 3-4 onwards. So previous text we read how Shanda and Namarka, they went to Hiranyakashipu telling him, your son is preaching to his friends and we don't know what to do about it. So Hiranyakashipu was really angry. Kopavesh chaladgatra putram hantum manodadhe shiptva parushaya vacha prahadam atad arhanam aheksham mana papena tiraschinena chakshucha rashreya vanatam dantam baddhanjalim avasthitam sarpapadahat iva shvasant prakriti darunah. Wherein Hiranyakashipu understood the entire situation. He was extremely angry, so much so that his body trembled. Thus he finally decided to kill his son Prahlad. Hiranyakashipu was by nature very cruel, and feeling insulted, he began hissing like a snake trampled upon by someone's foot. His son Prahlad was peaceful, mild and gentle. His senses were under control, and he stood before Hiranyakashipu with folded hands. According to Prahlad's age and behavior, he was not to be chastised. Yet, with staring, crooked eyes, Hiranyakashipu rebuked him with the following harsh words. So Prahlad was only 5 years old, and Hiranyakashipu was not supposed to chastise him. And here he is thinking of killing him. He finally decided to kill his son Prahlad. Why? Because he was so angry that he could not control Prahlad. And look at how Prahlad Maharaj was standing. He was peaceful, mild, and gentle. His senses were under control. And he stood before Hiranyakashipu with folded hands, without any fear, and without any anger either. Huge difference between the two. When one is impudent toward a highly authorized devotee, one is punished by the laws of nature. The duration of his life is diminished and he loses the blessings of superior persons and the results of pious activities. Hiranyakashipu, for example, had achieved such great power in the material world that he could subdue practically all the planetary systems in the universe, including the heavenly planets, Svargaloka. Yet now, because of his mistreatment of such a Vaishnava as Prahlad Maharaj, all the results of his tapasya diminished. So this is what is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto. When one mistreats great souls, his lifespan, opulence, reputation, religion, possessions, and good fortune are all destroyed. This is the result of Vaishnava Aparadha also. Even Vaishnava Aparadha is even worse than this. Here, only material things will be gone. But Vaishnava Aparadha means the bhakti progress can be stopped. But here, Hiranyakashipu, he's trying to kill Prahlad Maharaj. And what was Prahlad Maharaj's fault? He's just preaching Krishna consciousness. He's following Krishna consciousness and preaching Krishna consciousness. That's all. Text 5. Shri Hiranyakashipu Vacha He Durvinita Mandatma Ankul Bhedakaradhama Stabdam Machasano Devraktam Neshe Twadya Yamakshayam. Hiranyakashipu said, O most impudent, most unintelligent disruptor of the family, O lowest of mankind, you have violated my power to rule you, and therefore you are an obstinate fool. Today I shall send you to the place of Yamaraj. See, it's funny. Shukdev Goswami here says Shri Hiranyakashipu, or Narad Muni is narrating this story to Yudhishthira Maharaj, and he says Shri Hiranyakashipu Vacha. Although Hiranyakashipu is a big demon and he's trying to kill a wonderful devotee, Prahlad Maharaj, still Narad Muni gives him respect. Shri Hiranyakashipu Vacha. Why? Because he's father of Prahlad Maharaj. His son is such a Mahabhagavat. Even though whatever he's saying and whatever he's trying to do is completely nonsense, still he gets a respect. That's how devotees consider even the parents of a devotee, even any relative of a devotee. They give him respect. Because in that family, a Vaishnava son or a Vaishnava daughter, Vaishnavi daughter is born. And actually it is true. If in any household, even Krishna is indebted to that family. And that's why we'll read later on when Narasimhadev gives blessings to Prahlad Maharaj. We'll read over there how indebted the Lord himself is to the family where a great devotee like Prahlad is born. The Lord says 21 generations, 10 before, 1 current, 10 future generations, which haven't even showed up yet. All the souls coming in those generations will get liberated. Liberation in the sense, they'll get a chance to come to bhakti. Here we have problem even giving respect to devotees. No matter, everybody, all of us are neophyte devotees. We are still trying to be devotees. But the respect should be there. That the person is trying to perform, whether struggling or not, struggling to perform his devotion service. The respect should be there. He's trying. Hiranyakashipu condemned his Vaishnava son Prahlad for being durvinit, ungentle, uncivilized, or impudent. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, however, has derived a meaning from this word, durvinit, by the mercy of the goddess of learning Saraswati. He says that Duh refers to this material world. This is confirmed by Lord Krishna in his instruction in Bhagavad Gita, that this material world is dukkhalayam, full of material conditions. V means Vishesha, specifically, and Nita means brought in. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, see all the acharyas, and the Prabhupada says, by the mercy of goddess of learning, Saraswati, he comes up with a different meaning of Durvinit, which, normally we say Durvinit means ungentle, uncivilized, or impudent. But for Prahlad Maharaj, this ungentle or uncivilized word doesn't fit properly. It doesn't make sense. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, so Durvinit actually means that by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, Prahlad Maharaj was especially brought to this material world to teach people how to get out of the material condition. So Du means material world, V means Vishesha, or specifically or specially. Nita means brought in. So he was specially brought in this material world to teach people how to get out of it. And that meaning perfectly fits Prahlad Maharaj. Lord Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. When the entire population or part of it becomes forgetful of its own duty, Krishna comes. When Krishna is not present, the devotee is present, but the mission is the same, to free the poor conditioned souls from the clutches of the Maya that chastises them. And this is what Prahlad Maharaj was doing, and Hiranyakashipu got very angry to why he was doing that. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur further explains that the word Mandatman means Manda, very bad or very slow in spiritual realization. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Manda Sumanda Matyo Manda Bhagya Yutrata. Prahlad Maharaj is a guide of all the Mandas, Mandatman, or bad living entities who are under the influence of Maya. Of course, Hiranyakashipu, when he was saying Mandatman means you're bad. Prabhupada says in the word-to-word meaning, in synonyms, as Mandatman means, oh, stupid fool. But it could also mean that the guide of all the Mandas, all the foolish people, he is a benefactor even of the slow and bad living entities in this material world. Kul Bheda Karadhama. By his actions, Prahlad Maharaj made great personalities, established big families seem insignificant. Everyone is interested in his own family and in making his dynasty famous. But Prahlad Maharaj was so liberal that he made no distinction between one living entity and another. Therefore, he was greater than the great Prajapatis who established their dynasties. The word stabdam means obstinate. A devotee does not care for the instructions of the asuras. When they give instructions, he remains silent. A devotee cares about the instructions of Krishna, not those of demons or non-devotees. He does not give any respect to a demon, even though the demon be his father. Of course, Prahlad Maharaj gave all respect to his father, why he did not listen to his instructions. Matchashano Davritam. Prahlad Maharaj was disobedient to the orders of his demoniac father. Yamakshayam, every conditioned soul is under the control of Yamaraj. But Hiranyakashipu said that he considered Prahlad Maharaj his deliverer. For Prahlad would stop Hiranyakashipu's repetition of birth and death. So Yamakshayam, what Hiranyakashipu meant was, I'll send you to the place of Yamaraj. But actually it also means, that's why Sanskrit language is a language where bhav is more important. So bhav arth is more important than shabd arth, the meaning of the words. Because with the bhav, the meaning changes. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, when he is reading this, so when Hiranyakashipu said, Yamakshayam, but what actually it means is, he considered that you will save me from the punishment of Yamaraj. It also means that way. So this is the beauty of Sanskrit language. Because Prahlad Maharaj, being a great devotee, was better than any yogi, Hiranyakashipu was to be brought among the society of Bhakti yogis. The Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has explained these words in a very interesting way, as they can be interpreted from the side of Saraswati, the mother of learning. Of course, for that kind of understanding or interpretation of these shlokas, one has to be very, very advanced devotee, Sanskrit scholar, to and have those realizations by which one can realize. All we can say is, yes, Hiranyakashipu was angry, very angry at Prahlad Maharaj, but Prahlad Maharaj still, he did not retaliate. He was still gentle, standing there with folded hands, and remained silent. Krudhasya yasya kampante trayo loka saheshvara tasya me abhitu vanamudha shasanam kim balovatyagaha. My son Prahlad, you rascal, you know that when I'm angry, all the planets of the three worlds tremble, along with their chief rulers. By whose power has a rascal like you become so impudent that you appear fearless and overstep my power to rule you. So see, Hiranyakashipu is saying, when I'm angry, all the planets along with the chief rulers, they tremble. Means all the demigods were scared of his anger. But Prahlad Maharaj, 5-year-old little boy Prahlad. And that's what Hiranyakashipu was astonished. Where are you getting this power from? The relationship between a pure devotee and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is extremely relishable. A devotee never claims to be very powerful himself. Instead, he fully surrenders to the lotus feet of Krishna, being confident that in all dangerous conditions, Krishna will protect his devotee. Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Kaunteya pratijanehi name bhakta pranashya. O son of Kunti, declare boldly that my devotee never perishes. The Lord requested Arjuna to declare this instead of declaring it himself, because sometimes Krishna changes his view and therefore people might not believe him. Thus Krishna asks Arjuna to declare that the devotee of the Lord is never vanquished, never, never. And he has Arjuna to declare because Krishna, whatever he does, he never let go or let the words of his devotees be false. Just like here in Bhagavad Gita, he told Arjuna, you declare it, because he knew what is going to happen in the war. Bhishmadev is going to come up with this vow that either Krishna is going to pick up weapon to save Arjuna, or I'm going to kill Arjuna. And Krishna knew, I have to pick up weapon, which he himself is going to break his vow that I'll not pick up any weapon in this battle. But he always kept the words of his devotees, whether it was Arjuna or Yudhishthira Maharaj or Brahmaji or any of his devotees, he always keeps the word. Because this is how much he loves his devotees. He'll go to any extreme to keep the word of his devotees. And that's why. And also it is, on a funny side, in Braj, it is a known fact that people who are born in Mathura, they say don't trust them. They always lie. And Krishna was born in Mathura. So in Braj, they don't trust Mathuravasis. The rest of the Braj is okay, but Mathura, we don't trust them. So it all started from Krishna's. First of all, he was always stealing butter or this or that, and he was always lying. Even to Mother Yashoda, he was lying to gopis, to his friends. So they don't trust Mathuravasis. So here Krishna knew his reputation is like that. So he tells Arjuna that you declare it boldly. So that is a relationship. And the devotee get their power. They don't have any power on their own. They get their power because of their surrender to Krishna. Rakhe Krishna mare Krishna rakhe ke. Let him worry about everything. Why we have to worry? Hiranyakashipu was perplexed about how this 5-year-old boy could be so fearless that he did not care for the order of his very great and powerful father. A devotee cannot execute the order of anyone except the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is a position of a devotee. Hiranyakashipu could understand that this boy must have been very powerful, since the boy did not heed his orders. Hiranyakashipu asked his son, Kimbala, how have you overcome my order? By whose strength have you done this? And at the same time, all the demigods, they did not have power to not follow the orders of Hiranyakashipu. They were very scared of him. And we'll read it also further when nursing the fight between Lord Narasimhadev and Hiranyakashipu was going on. Even demigods were still very scared of Hiranyakashipu. Shri Prahlad Uvacha na kevalam me bhavatascha rajan savai balam balinam cha paresham pare avare ami sthir jangama ye brahmadayo yen vasham pranitaha. Prahlad Maharaj said, my dear king, the source of my strength, of which you are asking, was also the source of yours. That's like putting ghee in the fire. Indeed, the original source of all kinds of strength is one. He is not only your strength or mine, but the only strength for everyone. Without him, no one can get any strength. Whether moving or not moving, superior or inferior, everyone, including Lord Brahma, is controlled by the strength of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yadyat vibhuti matta sattvam. Know that all beautiful, glorious, and mighty creations spring from a spark of my splendor. It's just a spark of a splendor in this whole material creation, and it looks so beautiful, glorious, mighty. It's just a spark, little, insignificant spark, and we think this is so magnificent. This is confirmed by Prahlad Maharaj. If one sees extraordinary strength or power anywhere, it is derived from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To give an example, there are different grades of fire, but all of them derive heat and light from the sun. Similarly, all living entities, big or small, are dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one's only duty is to surrender, for one is a servant and cannot independently attain the position of master. So this is other day when we had the discussion with Shashi Mohan Prabhu and everybody about us getting proud of our achievements. Who are we? Here Krishna says, everything that we see in the material world is just a spark of a splendor. And we are even infinitesimal part of that spark. And we think we are somebody great. Rather, we should understand everything is, even if I have done something extraordinary in the office or at home or anywhere, it's only by the mercy of Krishna. And that's what Krishna consciousness is. It's not like we have to leave everything, go to the temple, then we become Krishna conscious. No. In our day-to-day life, this is what Arjun showed by his example in Bhagavad Gita. After listening to Bhagavad Gita, he fought the battle, but with a different consciousness. First of all, he understood everything is controlled by Krishna, everything is orchestrated by Krishna, everything is meant for the service of Krishna, and all the strength which he has comes from Krishna, whether bodily strength, mental strength, spiritual strength, every strength comes from Krishna. All we have to do is surrender and do whatever he says. He says, Nimitta matra bhava savyasanchi. Become an instrument and fight. Instrument has no independence. Instrument doesn't do what he wants to do. Instrument does whatever the person holding the instrument does. Just like if on an operation theater, surgery is going on and the surgeon picks up whatever instruments, whether a knife or whatever they have, and he has a little knife and he wants to cut up the body of the patient to open up to see where the problem is and then do his expert thing. But if the knife says, no, doctor wants to cut straight, and knife says, no, I'm going to cut at an angle, the patient will die. That's not the job of the knife to decide. It's the job of the holder of knife. All knife has to do just be there, and do whatever the holder is, and don't use his own intelligence. So this is what Krishna wants us. It doesn't mean we become robots. All it means is by our independence, we give up our independence. That's all. So unless one understands this philosophy, he's still a Muda. In other words, he's not very intelligent. The Mudas, the asses who do not have this intelligence, cannot surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Understanding the subordinate position of the living entity takes millions of births. But when one is actually wise, he surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's all we have to do. Just surrender, and he does wonders through his devotees. He wants to do wonders, and he does. But we have to become devotees. That's all. So after many, many births and deaths, he is actually in knowledge, surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Prahlad Maharaj was a great soul, a Mahatma, and therefore he completely surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord. He was confident that Krishna would give him protection under all circumstances. And that's where his strength was. And so much of strength that even Hiranyakashipu could not tolerate it. He was astonished. Where are you getting this strength? And Prahlad openly said, we all are getting a strength from Vishnu. You're also getting strength from Vishnu. It's not like you are independent. And just because you did some tapasya, you think you got the strength from that tapasya? That's nonsense. But the demons, this is what they like to think. They are independent of the Supreme Lord. In fact, they think there is no Supreme Lord. They themselves are the Supreme Lord. That's where the problem is. And we also have those tendencies. But slowly will we take to this practice of Krishna consciousness, slowly. It takes time. We come to this understanding. I'm not independent. I'm fully dependent. I don't have any qualities. I don't have any capabilities. I don't have anything that I can claim that I'm very great. Krishna is great. I'm just his servant. That's all. So I think I'll stop here. Shashi Prabhu already has his hand up. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna. Dandvat Pranam Prabhu ji.
Hare Krishna.
बड़ा मुश्किल है मेरे लिए इसको समझ पाना, बट मैं कोशिश करता हूँ कि मैं कुछ हद तक समझ पाऊँ। हालांकि मोह माया सभी के साथ जुड़ी हुई है, तो मैं भी उसमें लिप्त हूँ। तो मैं प्रभु जी ये समझना चाहता हूँ कि भी कैसे ये जो फियर है, फियर इन द सेंस कि मुझे कोई नीचा ना दिखा दे, मुझे मैं कोई मेरी तरक्की में बाधा बन सकता है, ठीक है। ये जो फियर है, मतलब मुझे किसी से क्षति पहुंच सकती है, ठीक है। ये कैसे ग्रो करेगा, मतलब ये जो फियर है मेरे अंदर, जो एक डर बैठा हुआ है, जिसके कारण मैं दिन रात स्ट्रगल कर रहा हूँ और पता नहीं किस उधेड़ बुन में लगा हुआ हूँ। अपने जो कर्तव्य हैं टुवर्ड्स फैमिली, टुवर्ड्स पेरेंट्स, वो भी भूल के, बिकॉज मुझे कुछ प्रूव करना है। मुझे डर है कि कहीं मैं मतलब जो एक अचीवमेंट लाइफ में मुझे लेनी है, वो उससे मैं पीछे ना हट जाऊं। और उसी उधेड़ बुन में मैं जो एक्चुअल में मुझे करना चाहिए वो मैं नहीं कर पा रहा, और वो डर पता नहीं कहाँ से अंदर डेवलप हो रहा है, और वो डर दिन प्रतिदिन बढ़ता जा रहा है, ठीक है। मतलब वो कम नहीं होता। और इनफैक्ट जैसे जैसे मैं ग्रो कर रहा हूँ, और वो डर जो है वो उतना ही भयंकर रूप लेता जा रहा है। मेरी तरक्की के साथ साथ वो भी बढ़ता जा रहा है, राइट?
वो
तो
this is what material world is. It's a place of fear. It's a place of problems.
बट
पर
प्रभु जी
वो
मुझे
होता, हाँ बताइए।
मुझे उससे निकलना है, मुझे उसमें नहीं घुसना। वो चाहे मैं कहीं पे भी ग्रो करूं, मुझे नहीं जाना उस रास्ते पे। लाइक मैंने पिछली बार कहा, मुझे खुद की उसमें उतनी खुशी नहीं होगी। अगर कोई और ग्रो करे तो मुझे ज्यादा खुशी होनी चाहिए। तो वो वाला मुझे रास्ता चुनना है। हालांकि मैं अभी उस पे नहीं हूँ, मुझे खुद को पता है, बट आई विल ट्राई टू अचीव दैट।
वो रैट रेस, इसलिए तो इसको रैट रेस कहते हैं ना, कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड को। बट अगर आप ध्यान से देखें, रैट रेस में whether we win or lose, in the end we still a rat. क्यों? Enjoy your life. I mean, मैं नहीं कहता काम नहीं करो, काम करो, बिल्कुल मेहनत से करो, बिल्कुल मेहनत से करो, but enjoy your life. Don't worry about, don't have fear. It will not help. और उससे अपनी तबीयत भी खराब होगी, और आपने कहा अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज भी नहीं ठीक से कर पा रहे उधर की, फैमिली टुवर्ड्स फैमिली, पेरेंट्स जो भी है, तो it will not help in any way. कुछ भी नहीं होगा उससे। आप ट्राई करके देखो। आपने कहा ना मुश्किल है, बट ट्राई तो कर सकते हो ना। मे बी फॉर अ वीक और सो, जस्ट से नहीं, जिसको जो करना है करे। I'll do my job, but I'll not go for anything else कि मेरी recognition मिले या ये हो वो हो। ट्राई करके देखो।
यस प्रभु जी।
Our own peace of mind is more important than anything else. Peace से ही happiness आएगी। Is that okay?
Yes, प्रभु जी।
चलिए, then I guess we can stop here. You all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
हरे कृष्ण, जय श्री प्रभुपाद।
जय श्री प्रभुपाद।